Hi, it's me, Ingridine of P, and I'm back on YouTube. Um, I'm trying to think of this as like a video diary rather than a social media, but I have been off of social media as well for a week. Then I tried to get back slowly, and YouTube is the last thing that I'm coming back to. Um, it has been good to be away for a little while, but in the long run, I need to have um, social interaction. I haven't met my friends again since my last video, but I'm going to. Um, I've gone to a library, I've checked out books, I've been reading The Handmaid's Tale um, and Sherlock Holmes. I've also applied to a university course about insects, which is pretty low key, just 2 hours of Zoom a week. It's free, and I by having a university account, I also get to have the Office packet for free, which for some like 2-3 years ago, I had a virus on my computer, and I accidentally deleted Office, and I haven't bought Office since, um, but in that way I can actually use Word, and I can write poetry, and I can go back to writing fan fiction, which is also positive. um, I haven't written fan fiction in like 2 years now. I have been writing poetry, but on paper. I also have been making these little scoobidoos, which I will show what a scoubidoo is. If you're not French, if you're French and you grew up in the 90s, 2000s, you will know what this is. This is what every girl would make in the classroom. Here's another one. I don't know if you can see. It's made out of plastic strings. They're not worth anything. I can make them in 5 minutes. But I had some strings left at home at Christmas, and so I made some of these. I will be selling them on my Ko-fi. So go. The link is in the description. It's Ko-fi, ko/fi.com/radishraven, and they will be sold for $3 because $3 is the cost of postage. Now, it will probably cost me more than $30 to ship it, so I'll be losing money on this. So I have not yet tapped into the ESTJ subconscious, but yeah, I'm doing this because I love you guys, and I will be putting a personalized note in the envelope. So that's that. I've also been painting, but like my painting is crap, and I don't have any paints. I just took a bunch of stuff from my house and my parents' house, and saw if it was still usable. Unfortunately, most of the paints were dried up since like several years ago, but I'm trying to do this sort of creative stuff that I can do without learning new things and without leaving the house, because I need to do stuff that's realistic, and learning new things is a little bit difficult. Things are going well at work. I have coworkers who are super nice, and 3 nurses actually. All three are super nice. The first is the nurse who is kind of like my second mother. She really takes care of me always. She's really into gardening. She's an ESFJ, I think. And she just loves talking to people, and she knows everybody and has connections with everybody. And she brought her 2 sons and her husband. They all came and fixed my place up by finally building my IKEA sofa that I'm sitting on right now. It's a green sofa. And fixing up a table and fixing up a shelf. So now my place is kind of habitable, which it wasn't before. So I'm really grateful and thankful and happy for that nice person. And then I have a nurse friend who is also going to help me, but teach me to drive. So I've been trying for 5 years now to learn to drive, and I've wasted so much money. I've wasted tens of thousands of dollars. And like $10,000 or something. I've spent a lot of money on this, and yet on my practical test I failed 3 times. I've managed a theory test twice because the theory is easy, obviously, as an intuitive. I can figure that out. Also, my SI really helps me remembering stuff by heart. But practical SE stuff, SET decision making on the spot is not really my thing. So I'm really happy that this person is decided to help me. I was like shocked, and I was like, "Are you sure? Are you sure you haven't gone crazy?" you know. But I'm happy about that because my parents can't help me. They live in another country, and nobody had the time or the patience to teach me. So I'm glad. I've gone to like 4 different driving schools, and I'm just tired now. The only thing is that she drives a stick shift car, and I only did stick shift at the beginning of those 5 years, and then I went over to automatic because I couldn't deal with it. So I'll have to learn that again. But I'm really grateful. And then the third person wants to go to the secondhand store, and that we go shop stuff together for my house. And they have a bunch of stuff in that they said I could just take from their house. So I'm really grateful for the people at work. I haven't been socializing outside of work really, which I feel now the need to do. And after several weeks, I haven't really had the energy to go see my friends. I said I was feeling bad to my ISFJ friend, and it ends up that his uncle had just died, and I'd picked like exactly the wrong moment to write. But it's not my fault, I didn't know. So I said, just take it easy. I have bought him a Christmas present, so I'll go and get that to him as soon as we're both ready to see each other. He's very close to all of his family members, so losing his uncle he also lost his father pretty young, so it's a lot for him. I haven't seen my INFJ friend in a while. I can't deal with talking about self-care and self-improvement and growth. I was in the FISI loop, you know? It makes you want to do the same things over and over again. It makes you want to not change anything, not grow, not do anything. So, yeah, it just annoyed me, you know, to talk about progress and change and self-development and stuff. But I'm getting better. I am growing, even though it's very slow. I'm focusing on not dying so that my leaves don't fall off. But now I can maybe take some steps forward. And what has been bothering me the most has been actually my family, because I always saw them during Christmas. My grandfather is losing his memory. My dad is, and he has Alzheimer's on his side of his family, so he probably has Alzheimer's. My dad is in denial. My mom keeps getting mad at my dad for like denying it, but it is pretty apparent right now. And my grandfather lives on the Canary Islands, so he lives very far away from us, and that's his choice. He wants to be where it's sunny all year, you know. But also my grandfather is part Spanish, so he knows Spanish and he feels like that's his home. Um, Unfortunately, it's very far away from us, so we have no idea what he does most of the time. Um, I've told you guys that, well, he was an INFP. I'm not sure if he's an INTP. Anyway, he's an INP, so he does his own thing. But he's also really weird about how he sometimes like barges into our lives and thinks that like, and gets like confused as to why we don't listen to what he says. It's because he's not really involved in my life. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a tension there. Also, there's a tension about my brother because he's studying engineering in Switzerland. He is 18. Well, he just turned 18. He's very young because he skipped a grade. He is an ENTP, I think. So he's been used to just breezing through school because he has the genius of the ENTP, you know? He didn't have to work. He would just procrastinate and do stuff at the last second. And then he would get the stellar grade because he just can make all those connections, you know? He has that TI, he has the NE. What more do you want, you know? And my ISTJ dad is like freaking out because it's like completely opposite of the way that he thinks things. My dad has worked like 30 years for the same company and is worried about like being like going into retirement early. He wants to work as long as he can so that he can get all the pension. So my dad is a little bit worried about that because he's starting to get old, disposable for the company, and working for the cog is not always really appreciated actually in the world. But that's what my dad does. And my dad was the kind of kid who would read math problems during the summer holiday so that he could be on top of his game when he came to class in September. He was kind of like the boring nerd, the one that is annoying, you know, the one that is judgmental towards other people. While my brother is kind of like a chill, smart aleck nerd who just kind of wings it and doesn't need to work that hard. Unfortunately, he hasn't been studying, and now come the big exams. His landlord is kicking him out because he has been basically sleeping all day and, well, not studying really, and not going to class. I'm sure that my brother will do quite well actually, but he maybe won't pass because it's like 50% of the people don't manage in that program that he's doing, computer science stuff. Also, it's expensive to live in Switzerland, and my parents are paying for all that, so it has been stressful. Like, my dad is like accusing my brother of being lazy. My mom is worried about my brother if he has depression. I'm just tired of the whole thing, so I just stay away. But I can't involve myself because I'm not there. So I kind of play like my grandfather. I kind of do the same thing, even though I accuse my grandfather of not being involved in our lives. I do the same thing. I just I can't deal with it, so I just decided to live in another country so that I didn't have to deal with all this. But I do love my family, and I am aware that I'm not involved in their lives, as opposed to my grandfather who just seems surprised, you know. So it has been, my brother is nice and I love my brother, but he has made my life a little bit difficult. I think INFPs and ENTPs can get along really well. We can talk about all sorts of fun stuff, and it's a little bit difficult to relate on emotional terms because they don't have any FI, and yeah, if he is not really their strong suit. And they can lead to some problems. I'm actually not sure if my brother is an INTP, and maybe he is. He just seems to be very sociable and that kind of thing. I don't know. I do know that he uses, like, that he's an E. He's a mess, and he's a perceiver. That's all I can say. He's a perceiver, and probably NTP, and it's leading to some chaos. But like, I'm fine with it as long as I'm not like there. And during the Christmas holidays, it was quite a lot, but now it's fine. I think that things are slowly coming back to a sort of new normal. Now my next new thing is that I need to do well at my job. That's my next step. And so I'm going to meet my friends, try to socialize there. And things are slowly going towards the right direction, even though the future is scary. I have also been thinking a lot about why I'm Enneagram 6, and how my upbringing, because Enneagram is about how your childhood wounds create your fixations, And I think as an Enneagram 6, I was like, but why am I an Enneagram 6 if I grew up in a secure household, But if you grew up with an ISTJ dad, you'll know the importance of security. And he's kind of paranoid about security, so that kind of made me a little bit paranoid about security. Also, the bullying kind of made me feel unsafe a large part of the day when I was at school. And so I wanted to find safety. Also, being an INFP in itself is kind of turbulent, So that kind of also led to me becoming a 6, I think. I've been thinking about this a lot. Also, my INFJ friend is a 9. So I've been thinking like my disintegration is their integration and vice versa. So when I become a 9, that's my positive. But if they become a 6, that's their negative. So I think that might be causing some kind of difficulties, I guess. But it's not like we're in any kind of tension. It's just, it just was a tangent I went on because I was thinking about me being a 6. Anyway, so those are the things that I've been thinking about lately. I have more videos in store that I have on my phone. One of them is about INFP, NFJ. One of them is about ENTJs. Maybe I'll make a video about ENTPs. I don't know. I don't have many ENTPs in my life for some reason. And I also have been thinking about making a video about feelings, obviously. Yeah. Tell me what you guys think, if you have any ideas for videos. I'm really happy to be back. I'm taking it slow because YouTube is a little bit difficult to navigate. But I wasn't happy being away for too long. It's actually good for me. I've realized that it is good for me to make these videos. Even though some people might call it unhealthy, I would say that it's more positive than negative. So that's what I am now. Yeah, have a great day. Bye.